In the bag.
Hey!
Give me some, man. That's how fall trolling's supposed to be.
Absolutely.
What is up, guys? We are here on the Chippewa Flowage today. I got my good friend and fishing guide Pete Rich behind the camera.
Hello.
What are we doing today?
Musky fishing.
We're setting up a fall musky trolling pattern. Our water temps are 60 degrees. We got fish starting to slide into a lot of these fall locations. It is trolling time for us. We got a couple of big baits out. We're gonna see if we can't get it done today. We might talk about, what are we gonna talk about?
I think probably some technical aspects of getting ready for fall trolling equipment, just getting you ready for that end of the year bite.
Yeah, and we're going to talk about a big Treeland event we put together, a big fall Musky Bash. So stay tuned. We're going to see if we can't boat a fish and talk about some of the technical parts of trolling today. All right, we're going to talk about some structure. What kind of structure are you looking for? How do you fish it? Stuff like that. Unless you do a lot of trolling or if it's a new lake you've never trolled before, it's kind of hard to visualize how structure lays out, where you want to put your boat, stuff like that. We're going to go ahead and throw a picture of a good trolling spot right here. Now you can see the red line's the path I just ran through this spot. And basically you can see, I kind of set my shallow or my mid-depth highlight. If you have a hummingbird, I'll set that to kind of the boundary or the areas in which I want to be fishing. And once I have that highlighted, it kind of defines a nice clear path of where I want my boat or where I want the edge of my boat to be. You can see kind of the areas you want to fish are areas that have these nice defined points that come out into a river channel. You get a lot of bites on points in this lake. Doesn't really matter the time of year, but especially in the fall. You can see when I come to some of these tighter points, there's actually, I'll do a loop around the point. So a lot of times my boat isn't, if you have to hit a 90-degree angle, your baits are going to slow down, one's going to speed up way too fast, and you don't have exact control over where your baits are. So a lot of times I'll swing a point, run down one side of it, do a loop outside of the point in deep water once my baits have cleared the structure I want to fish, and then come back down the other side of the point, so I really hit that point extremely efficiently. Now, sometimes you don't have to do that in every single point you come to. It's always a good idea to be smashing bottom, just barely skipping the tops of some of these points with your deep rods. How you're running the boat is 100% the difference between getting bites and not getting bites. This isn't a lure specific thing, this isn't a speed specific thing, this is an absolute 100%, and I'm sure Pete agrees with me. This is where you're putting your boat and being efficient at putting your bait where you want your bait to be. So there's a lot of little things that are going to help you catch fish this time of year. There's nothing more important than boat control, really this time of year or any time of year.
All right, guys, so trolling is fairly new in the Hayward area. We have a whole bunch of lakes that have literally just opened up to trolling in the past 3 years. This is the 3rd season of it. Today we're out on the Chippewa Flowage, which is one of those. And you know what, there being so many new lakes, I think a lot of guys are interested in trolling but don't necessarily have the experience that some of the guys that have been trolling for years have had. So let's talk about some of the stuff we're doing. Tom's got a setup here. What are you using there? It looks like 200-pound fluoro?
Yep, 200-pound fluorocarbon, 30 inches long or longer.
Yep, I like a 4-footer. Tom's probably got, looks like about a 30-incher. We're using big heavy line. Not that trolling requires as heavy a line as when you're casting, but what I like about the 100-pound test is on a lake like the Flowage, we've got stumps, cribs, as Tom and I have found many times so far today. And that 100-pound test is going to give you a little extra strength to really get the lures off of those structures and not leave your lures hung up and all over the lake. When it comes to drag, I think what we'll do is we'll hop in the boat and we'll show you exactly how Tom and I set our drags. It's an easy way, you can put a little tension on there and you can see me pull that out, but without feeling it, you're not sure. So we'll show you some ways from the boat how to test your drag so you know your drag's right for the time of year and the speed that you're traveling, because as we slow down our boat speed, you also have to tighten your drag because you'll have less momentum for the hook sets. So it's a pretty foolproof way to set your drag for whatever lures and speed you're traveling. Okay, so what I'm going to do, guys, is kind of get us started from having the drag completely locked. Obviously, you never do that, but I'm going to kind of show you the process of how to get this set. So I'm going to run my lure out. I'll go on a short line right now. Tom's got the boat up to the speed we're going to be trolling at. You can see when I pull it, there's no slip to that drag whatsoever. Gonna dial it back just a little bit. Hear how that gave a real slow tick to it? My drag's set perfect. I don't want it to be too loose when I pull and it just screams off. So when I dial that in, still too loose, too tight, back it up just a little bit. There it is, that nice slow tick. Right as I'm putting on the rain gear.
Was that first pass or was that first pass?
I think that's the first 5 minutes on the water.
You on floating gear?
Might make it easier on you. Feels like a decent one.
It looks like a decent one.
But we always say that every time we get one trolling. I think I'm ready for the net. He's right here.
We were just talking how we should be catching fish here. I think it's a nice fish beat.
Yep, I think you're, let's see, where's he going? Yeah, he's okay.
He's all right one. We'll take it for the first 10 minutes of fishing.
1 second.
You going around the other way?
No, I'll come back here.
Awesome.
Oh, nice fish.
Absolutely. Oh, I'm not gonna take that. In the bag.
Hey!
Give me some, man. That's how fall trolling's supposed to work.
Absolutely. We were just talking about how we can't believe we haven't got a fish in here because it looks so good. And literally,
it comes down to confidence.
On. Yes, it does.
All right, that was literally our first pass. I trolled a bunch in here yesterday. It looked phenomenal, did not get a bite. And yeah, I mean, it literally took 10 minutes to get this guy to go. Calm down, buddy. Beauty. What are you guessing, about 41?
Yeah, I would say so.
Nice thick fall fish. We'll take it for the first 10 minutes of fishing. We got a real fishy looking day, a big low pressure system. We're gonna get him back quick. Beauty. He's gonna be ready to go. There he goes. What is going on, guys? It is extremely late at night right now, but what I want you guys to do is go down and look in the information in the description of this video. I'm gonna put some information about the Treeland's November Musky Bash. It's a very informational musky fishing weekend. Myself, Steve Jensen, and P. Rich have put together, and along with some other guides out of Treeland Resort. This is meant to, it's a big information sharing weekend. This is not a fishing tournament. We're gonna be giving seminars, be doing raffles, giving away a ton of tips, setting you guys up for an awesome weekend of fishing on the Chippewa Flowage in late November, targeting some big late fall muskies. Also, if you guys have not already, what I'm gonna need you to do is watch any number of these 3 videos and absolutely subscribe to this channel.